hair out, Jerry.
It's the east side of the room's turned this way.
Too late now. I already went out the door.
Got a nice picture of Brad's head there.
Thanks. Everybody rise, please. Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and welcome to the Township June board meeting. All trustees are present. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes as presented by the clerk for May's meeting?
Yeah.
May I have a motion to approve? Paul, second.
I'll second.
Warren, all in favor?
Aye.
Minutes from May have been approved. At this time, we recognize our visitors for any public commentary, and we are lucky enough to have Mr. Brad Chirkadis, Deputy Sheriff. Anything to share with us, Brad?
Nothing from the Sheriff's Department this month. Anything for the Sheriff's Department?
Any questions of the Sheriff's Department?
Everything's quiet?
Yeah, it's been a good month.
Oh, well, good.
It's been a good month.
People don't like steal stuff when it's raining.
Yeah, it's wet out there.
Yeah.
So, nothing to report.
We encourage you to stay, of course, because you are a resident of the, you're still a resident, aren't you, Brad?
Yeah.
Yes. But if you have other things to do, Brad, we understand.
Sure. Yeah.
Certainly. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
And just a note of caution for everyone, again, they're out there trying to get jobs seal coating, and we know what that means. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing for them to do, but there are strangers in our midst, and they'll be driving up people's yards and asking for seal coating or windows or whatever it might be. So just be aware and keep an eye on your neighbors, as our Neighborhood Watch program helps with that situation. Okay, we'll start out with reports. Will Township Plan Commission hasn't met. Road Commissioner?
Brian, I don't have a lot. I've got some correspondence here from our friends from the Ileana Corridor group, and you're welcome to take a look at that. There are meetings coming up again, a public hearing Monday, June 17th, and one that's in Indiana, and one on the 18th at the high school from 5 to 8, kind of the same scenario. Open presentation with a PowerPoint. Informational sit down. Got some new traffic counts here, projections on some of the township roads. Should we keep Kedzie open? You can welcome to look at that for what it's worth value. And I did receive some correspondence from them after I questioned their P3 partnership, how this funding actually works, where the contractor gets a loan from the federal government to build the project and then repays the loan out of the profits of the project. So what it boils down to, the taxpayers fund everything, from the state's part, from the private partnership part also. So if you want to read something in the news, read about TIFIA funds. It'll make your blood boil.
Really?
How that works. And with the latest, what we've all read in the paper here in the last few days about the state taking over control of the airport development and the supposedly Ileana Expressway, that's all based on the P3 partnership. I know a lot of people are pretty irritated by what happened this past week. Personally, I think it's a good thing that the state takes over, because I think it's doomed for failure after having their bond ratings reduced again in the last 3 days. And this public-private partnership seems to be spreading throughout the country. I read in Agri-News where Dick Durbin's trying to do the same thing to get the Mississippi locks and dams improved. So we're running so short of funds, whoever we can bring into the fold, we're going to do it. But this thing really lit up in the last couple of days again. I don't know if you guys seen the surveyors out, but they've been in our area 3 straight days, and they're currently marking every property along Corning and Kennedy due to the fact they've now changed the scenario of building frontage roads running parallel with the Olean. So,
Yeah, they were in our neighborhood almost all last week.
yeah. And then there's been another piece of information, true or false, that they want to acquire enough right-of-way now. They have dreams of a railroad running parallel to the Olean Expressway. So, a lot of development. I haven't seen any equipment hauled in. I haven't seen anybody starting work, so I hope we're back to 1999, where it's another 12 to 15 years before anything happens, but I wish it would go away. But I don't see, under the current administration, they're going to keep it alive at least through 2014 election year. I have something I probably should talk about later in the meeting, and I think it'd be good for our township residents who own property that are going to end up on the dead-end roads. I believe we should hire, or at least get a consultant to give us an opinion on what the evaluation of farmland is going to be on this dead-end roads. And I think we could have that for this presentation on the 18th. I hate to speak up for it because I'm affected by it, but
Well, landlocked properties.
yeah, landlocked and stuff that ends up on a dead-end road is not going to be the same appraised value as the through street, we know that. And I think that needs to be brought out. I don't know if the board would want to pay for something like that. I'm willing to pay for it myself if not, but I think we need to go forward and at least get a legal opinion to interject at these hearings on property values. And I think it's an issue Paul brought up at the Peatone meeting we had at the fairgrounds a month ago. But I don't know how you as a board feel about it, but you know, if we want to do something for the
I think we should look into this.
township, my suggestion was if I get my hearing back here the way it should be, I was going to have Judy and myself go to Farm Credit Service and speak with Rick Reuter, is that his name, Ryder or Reuter? And maybe he can refer us to some independent appraisal guy that would be unbiased.
What about Mark Steiger with Farm Bureau? Would
Yeah, he have a recommendation, Warren, I don't know, this
I don't
is
know.
just something
Maybe
we've
he
talked
would
about.
know to the Farm Bureau or to them that they would know.
Somebody should, one of the groups should be able to come up with
Come up back,
somebody
but I would
that's,
say, yeah, either one talk to,
I mean, that's what they do.
because Mark had lawyers at Wilton Center and missed that, had another
Well,
meeting.
yeah, I went to that, Warren, but, you know, again, basically that was an eminent domain presentation. Yeah, not so much as far as land values.
It's like that the other way.
But I think we need to get an opinion from people who loan money on property.
Yeah, that's good.
They're one of the bigger ones.
That's a great idea. Matter of fact, I'm going to take the lead on this, and I'll call Mark and see if we can get something going. I think on behalf of the township residents, our constituents, we should do this on behalf of the landowners. One of our mission statements is that we do things on behalf of the landowners, the resident landowners. So this falls within our realm, the mission statement. So as far as funding is concerned for it, well, of course, we can look into that. But I think it's an excellent idea, Bruce, and something we can bring to the table.
Well, I just think it brings another professional opinion into a hearing that, you know, we all know how we feel about it, but I think, you know, we had good results meeting with the people from CMAP, and hopefully we'll get some other agencies to get involved with us. But, you know, right now, this thing is fast-tracked to the point where they make you believe they're going to be moving equipment in here in 60 days. Well, we know that's not happening, so we have time to work on it.
Looks better if it's coming from a group too than an individual.
Yes.
And then if we can possibly include, you know, other townships that are involved.
Oh, right.
If they're interested to gain our strength.
Yeah, I'll call Mark and get something started.
Okay. Township business, we had some bid lettings over at the county for some material, and one of the bids got advertised wrong, so there's a new letting on coming up here next week, which isn't going to really interfere with anything. It's just the product was advertised wrong, so we'll get that straightened out, and we should be able to get at our summer projects here when the weather straightens out. Everything else is lined up. Good to go.
That's all she wrote?
Yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of interesting with this P3 and the public-private partnership. It's like these politicians probably work with these guys so they can help with the reelection fund. You know, as corruptible as Illinois politics is, this just opens Pandora's box as far as I'm concerned. I mean, look all the problems we have with all the roadways and all the engineers that went to jail because they were putting in 4 inches instead of 6 inches or whatever they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But on this note, I did go to the opening in Dallas. It was the opening of the Star Trek movie. And they had it was in Chicago, and they had a panorama of the area, and the airport still wasn't built. So anyway, that's pretty far in the future. I mean,
Yeah, there's no promise.
there was no third airport. So, but they're going out on 5 years now, to where no man has gone before. So maybe the airport will show up someday. The assessor is not here. I was going to invite Helen, but I'm going to call Helen tomorrow and see how she is doing with her classes. I'd like to have her start working with, well, let's put it this way. When I became a supervisor, Joe Burgess and Marty Schmidt were very big help to me. And I'm going to look into the other townships and see where maybe somebody might be able to assist Helen. And you know, obviously gets input also from Stella, of course. But I want her to know that the board's behind her, and I don't want her to think she's out there all by herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you guys see Helen, you know, just find out how she's doing, how's the class is going, you know, come to the next meeting, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we should also invite her to the thing we're planning for Stella as well.
Oh, yes.
I want her to feel that she's a part of this organization, even though
Exactly.
she's going through the training right now.
Could she fill that clerical spot on?
That's
That's
what
what
I'm
budget?
going, that's what I'm going to talk to you Stella about. If she's not here tonight, I was going to ask her about that.
That would seem like a fair way to get started.
Absolutely. So Supervisor, I don't have anything really. Bruce already mentioned the Oleana coming up. Did you talk to the Midge girl? The May 29th meeting? Was that canceled?
Well, they had, Brian, I don't know if anyone, there was some Peatone Township people that went. I did not go.
It was images and something, I think.
Well,
Yes,
she's
they did
the,
go.
she's
Was
the
it,
liaison person for the meetings.
Because I'm not sure exactly what the mission or what the meeting was for.
To narrow down to the townships to get your true feeling on these road closures.
True feeling?
Yeah, well, they already know my true feelings, so, and plus, I wasn't able to go, I couldn't hear anybody, so there's no need me going, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I never heard talk to John, but, yeah, he didn't, but, I think Clark, Gene went.
Yeah,
somebody
you
else.
said Gene and
They went to the one
Cann
at Joliet, what, the 150?
went to,
Yeah, and then I think there was one the next day, and I don't know. I did ask him what the outcome was.
So is this another agency or organization getting involved in trying to get the true feelings of the local peasants,
there are,
residents?
you have the IDOT group, you have Parsons Vickerhoff, who is the consulting group for IDOT, and you have this images group, which is the publications, literature, media, entrepreneur. She's the one that does all the mail outs and the colorful brochures.
Makes everything look so positive.
That is right.
That's not- Okay, well, I'm sorry I wasn't there. Rocky, do you have any, let me, before I move on. So correspondence, we didn't have any correspondence other than that. ESD coordinator, Rocky, is there anything, emergency services?
Tornado hit your yard too? Sure got mine.
The other afternoon.
It was 2 weeks ago yesterday.
Yeah.
That very first storm that come through. Something went through my front yard.
Yeah, it did, because I went across, got Robert Gallows,
I seen he
mother's
is.
place, went across on Kedzie, and then went by Darrell Seeper, and
Oh, did
tore
it?
some buildings up there. Yeah,
Oh,
it
did
looks off, yeah.
That was the only one on my road that got it, but boy, I got it.
I'll be darned.
I took down 2 big trees and a lot of huge branches.
That was nice, what day?
Nate, it was Monday, two weeks ago yesterday. About 11 something at night.
Wow. Well, thank goodness you were spared, except for the trees.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to have anything coming through, it was supposed to be a bad storm. That's all I got.
Trustees, at this time, Paul, do you have anything to share with us? Jerry?
No.
Warren? Rocky? We'll move on to old business. There is no old business to discuss at this time. We have got the budget hearings for old business. Both budgets have been approved. For those of you out there in TV land, we approved both the budgets for Will Township and for the Will Township Road District for 2013-14. Moving on to new business, we need to approve the adoption of ordinance of intent to comply with the Illinois Prevailing Wage Act. Can I have a motion to that effect? Jerry, second. Rocky, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Glenn will put the necessary information in the paper that Will Township is in,
I don't understand that deal with that.
we have an intent to comply with the Illinois Prevailing Wage Act. I'd like to review and approve legal counsel and bank affiliations. Legal counsel for Road District is Tom Cann. Nothing changes there. And for the Township, Steve is still our counsel. Bank affiliations, they're dropping like flies, folks. But we're still with First Community, and they seem to be pretty strong. Except for the incident they had the other day. That was a doozy, from what I hear. Anyway, as far as the investment policy, which ties in with the bank, we don't really have that many investments. As far as policy is concerned, we have less than $300,000 to deal with, so it's not like, and it's ongoing funding. I mean, we're not carrying big balances like some of these other townships are. So we're just basically the two major operating accounts which feeds the other funds. We're getting money market rate interest, which is a pittance.
The savings rate's the same.
Huh?
Savings rating.
Right, so that's basically the investment policy for the coming year, is just to maintain those money market accounts, which is what the source is for paying bills. Scholarship funding, I would assume that we want to review or not continue with the Peatone Scholarship Fund. I haven't heard from the Beecher School District on that respect, so unless I do hear from Beecher, which we obviously have Beecher in our township, we will continue with the Peatone Scholarship funding of $500, I forget, $500, $500? $500 for a worthy graduate from Will Township. I have no action items or correspondence to share with you. I have the Will County Community Concerns brochure, which is, and also there's an envelope if any of you would like to donate money. We haven't received a request as yet, which we normally do at this time, because I read past it in my minutes as I prepared for this meeting, and I noticed that every June it seems like they have a request for funding, so I'm assuming that it's either late or I haven't received it.
We usually get around 2,000, don't we?
Yeah, so we haven't, I mean, we can't address that issue until we get a request in. Okay. Payment of bills. Has everybody had a chance to review the bills in front of me? Okay. All signed. Motion to approve. Rocky, second. Paul, all in favor of approving the bills as presented?
Aye.
The accounts, we're just starting in this our first month in the fiscal year, so all accounts are, now that we got our budget approved and will be sent off to Joliet, all accounts are in pretty good shape. In very good shape, as a matter. We came out of the winter with hardly any scrapes at all, so we didn't have a lot of money going for plowing snow, and so far, of course, road work after the rain stops, if it does. And then we'll be griping about no rain probably mid-July. So we're in good shape fiscally. Upcoming seminars, the next board meeting will be Tuesday, July 2nd. Hearing no further business, Paul, is there anything you got as we get ready to adjourn? Jerry? No? Warren?
No.
Rocky? Bruce?
I found that letter regarding the P3 partnership. Do you have one? Somebody wants to go learn more about it. They're going to have a 2-day summit event at the Donnelly Stevens Convention Center if you'd like to go. All the contractors will be there that are interested in this, and disabled business enterprise people.
Oh, that was from here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that going to be at Springfield?
No,
Rosemont.
Rosemont.
Oh, Roseman.
Yeah. Read it.
Thought we got up at Rosemont.
That's where the money is at, where the Walsh construction earlier
We're
there.
talking Cook County.
Yeah.
Highlights of the conference include the keynote address from Illinois Governor Pat Quinn. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat there, folks. Indiana Governor Mike Pence, a 10,000 square foot exhibit area for evening networking reception. Wow, there's going to be some money passing hands there. Yeah. Party consisting of a team of engineering firms, construction firms, companies and financiers.
So, we got to go, because our governor's supposed to speak.
Motion for adjournment. Paul, second. Jerry, all in favor?
Aye.
Brad, thank you very much for coming out.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Hey, now that we're, wait a minute.
Bruce, those road closures, where are you getting at? Is that on that Louisiana expressway?